begin. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
What is going on?
From all over the U.S.
Please, whoever has the microphone
You know, I just love that theme music. It just wakes me up from wherever I've been. I know for some of you, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. So we're going to get that energy going. So before we begin today, we're missing a couple of people. This is round 8 of WBC Talks. Stay home, stay safe. And it's a very special Boxing Angels too for us, because these are all people from the boxing community that have been nominated by their peers, Heroes for Humanity Awards. So what could be more beautiful than that? So I'm going to announce the panel, and then 𝗧𝗔𝗟𝗡𝗗 will give us some beautiful words for the day, and then we will take it from there. So I'm going to start with people who are here. So here we have Walter, the schoolboy, who is a traveling deployed EMS and a world champion, a Latino title holder, US NBC title holder, and he's working a tough route, traveling around to the worst places and giving his best for people with COVID. It's unbelievable, Walter, and we thank you for that.
Thank you, Joe.
And with Walter, we have Alberto Leone, who is the Chief Legal Counsel and Vice President of the United States. Can you believe that? I wish. Of the World Boxing Council. And you couldn't have a better person on your side, Walter.
Oh, thank you so much. It's
Then
an honor.
Then we have 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗, coach and founder of the Kingsville Boxing Center, advocate for children all over, and his son, Oscar, Lil Oscar 𝗧𝗔𝗟𝗡𝗗, who we know as a multiple champion, always working with the kids, always finding something new to say, speaking up, and he makes me so proud. I was with him at many hospital visits, and he's our guy. Thank you very much, Oscar, for being here.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
We used to have Cornelius Lewis here, but Cornelius...
You still have me. You still have me. I'm right here with Larry Donald.
Okay, you're on one. We have Cornelius Carl Lewis, who is a very formidable attorney in Ohio. And he is chosen to represent Larry the Legend Donald.
How you doing?
Can't talk about a record much better than Larry's. And oh my God, he's transporting patients and making their day much brighter as a boxing liaison. Missing right now, but I'll introduce them because they'll show up, is Tiara Brown, who was the police officer of 2019, is an advocate at Prospect. There she is, Prospect, and has an undefeated record. And the person introducing her, who nominated her, is Lou DiBella, promoter and CEO of Broadway Boxing. So we also have Chris, who disappeared. Chris, are you here with us? Well, I think there's a problem with the computer, but she'll be back. So Chris Zor, who is the head of WBC Cares Mexico and partners in, there you are, Chris.
Oh, here we are. We finally made it.
And for Humanity co-chair. And we have sitting over there, our jefe. We have Mauricio Suleiman, president of the World Boxing Council. And thank you. We're privileged to all have you here today. And now I'm going to turn it over to 𝗧𝗔𝗟𝗡𝗗.
Well, thank you, Jill, for the introduction. Hi, Mauricio, Chris, and all the participants in this panel. We begin a new week where many of us continue in confinement, but some others already are back into action under a new normality. In this sense, I want to introduce today's reflection from the column written by our president, Mauricio Suleiman, in the newspaper El Heraldo, It was published last week. In that article, he expressed a series of ideas that addresses the negative impacts of the abuse of power caused by small minds, and how those minds sometimes are the ones that dominate. So we need to talk about those small minds that we cannot let them to dominate the new reality. Our president shares with us how through history, the WBC has revolutionized boxing industry by implementing measures to make it safer for fighters by improving its dynamic in general, and also by impacting the regulations that allow more justice and to be the industry of the box sport to high the level to other sports, okay, by using the technology and many other new things that are for the moment of now. The article mentions that it is the resistance to change that normally dominates. It makes emphasis how the traditional profiles want everything to be as it once was, okay? And those profiles try to do a negative impact in modification. Okay, and what I want to do for the purpose of the reflection of today, of this panel, I want to take the analogy of what has happened in the world of box and what is happening now for us as humanity. Right now, everything is related to change. We are obligated because it's a matter of health, okay? The COVID has put us in this dilemma. We need to become a new profile of human being, a new profile of citizen, athlete, businessman, father, mother. We need to evolutionate, like the box industry has evolutionated through new proposals. We need to do it as human beings, okay? We are jointly responsible for justice, for health, for new ways that will allow us to survive. There is no room for narrow minds, for people who use their moment and place of powers against all. The new normality, the lack of confinement requires a new profile with the highest level of commitment, without ever abusing the position of power that each of us has. It doesn't matter if it's the position of power at your home, at the gym, at your community, at your city, or at your country. We all are one right now, and we need to get back to normality, but in a co-responsible way. Well, this is my reflection from today. Sorry, Mauricio, I took your column to make the reflection, but thank you for sharing those great ideas with us and for your work. Thank you.
Thank you so much, 𝗧𝗟𝗡. Do we have a little video to show now?
Hi, my name is Charlie and I am 13 years old and from Australia. Now, I have friends all over the world and I want to be the reason somebody smiles, somebody feels loved, and believe in the goodness of people. Sending love to the world, unite as one. CTH, changing lives out.
Thank you, Charlie. Charlie is our anti-bullying ambassador. And I thought, Mauricio, you might want to speak a bit. We have these videos that have been flying out all over with children expressing their feeling and their love for the world and their feelings of equality. Can you say something about that before we start? Because that's really why we do it. We do it for the children.
Yes, first of all, I'd like to welcome each one of you to this very important panel. The WBC talks began when 𝗧𝗔𝗟𝗡 and the WBC University understood, they had the vision of understanding what was going to happen, what humanity was going to go through. So they guided the WBC to understand the need to keep communications within the boxing industry. As days go by, we have seen the heroic efforts from many persons from around the world, but most importantly from you. You who are being awarded today have given us the strength and the knowledge of knowing that we are not alone, that there's always going to be someone next to you willing to sacrifice, even to put their life at risk for you. I cannot be more proud of any WBC talks more than today. We have found challenging times. We still find challenging times day after day, but it is just thinking about the deeds and great accomplishments of persons like you that bring us that will to understand that we're going to get through this. 𝗧𝗔𝗟𝗡𝗗, our proud champion with his dad. I cannot be more proud of you and what is going to be the future that we will be addressing together. Tiara, Ludi Bella, who's joining now. And,
hello, everybody.
Salute.
Great to join you all.
Thank you.
Hello,
Lou.
Tiara. How you doing, hon?
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
So Lou,
Good to be with my WBC family today.
Okay. We were talking about these times of complications and how our heroes for humanity, the ones that are in this WBC talks, have given us so much inspiration. And also the kids, children, without a doubt, bring the best out of anyone. And we have seen so many beautiful comments from the kids, speaking their hearts in hopes for a safe world for everyone. So I'm very happy, very proud. I cannot be more thankful. My wife, Christiane, is my drive for always doing the best possible to be good human beings and to honor those who make the change and that make life what is worth, like all of you in this screen. Thank you so very much. Let's have a great WBC Talks.
Thank you.
Your audio, Gio. Gio, your microphone.
You're muted, Jill. Unmute, babe.
And how many times people have wished for that, but not at this moment. If we could make the world safer, if we could make the world better, if we could make the world kinder, these are thoughts that we all have, especially when it comes to our children in times like this. The World Boxing Council has tried to inspire this behavior for those in our community. Our community is made up of warriors and as tough and tenacious combatants. But when the lights dim and the last bell rings, we are mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, and friends. And our hearts want more than to wish things well, but to stand in the center of the battle and make things well. Those with us today are people who personify the word champion. They have used their platform to lift others with their strength, their vision, and their hearts. And in return, we try and share, amidst the bad news and our mutual tragedy, some of the good deeds that they've done. It is our privilege to feature some of the best. So when you go to sleep tonight, when you close your eyes, instead of seeing the unsettling news reports, you can see their faces. You can know that you're a little safer, a little stronger, and a little more loved. We want to start by thanking someone who could not join us today. Christiane?
Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Chris.
Here, the WBC has created the Heroes for Humanity Award. in order to recognize all of those who have become heroes in these difficult times. And today we are here to recognize one hero who unfortunately he's not here with us anymore. And I would like to read the nomination we received for him. I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly. It's 𝗧𝗔𝗟𝗡𝗗. So Leonard lost his life on April the 12th, 2020. Devastating and brokenhearted when the news hit the team. This is the letter we received. I know to his family they lost everything because he was everything to a lot of people. To me, a little brother, fighter, friend, a father, husband, and mentor. We lost a true hero, and that is an understatement. The impact someone has on your life is not felt until something like this happens. And sadly, it did. But I knew the impact that he had. I know the impact that he had. No one smiled, laughed, joked, played, worked, bled, and sacrificed more than him. I think it's only fitting that he receives the humanitarian award because he was so much more than just an old guard soldier. If he was still here, he would continue being the best humanitarian friend, husband, father, brother, fighter that we know. And you would definitely be hearing his name as a true, undisputed champion. Rest in peace, Leo. And this is the letter from his from Coach How, and the humanitarian award goes to Leo. So and we would like to say we feel his loss, and we are very sorry for to the family. We are very sorry for your loss, and but we know you must be very proud about him. Thank you.
Thank you.
And one more thing. This is why these kind of letters are the ones who remind us why we do what we do at the WBC Cares.
Thank you, Chris. That was beautiful.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you.
Thank you. So what makes this panel so unusual is that we have the people who nominated those who've gotten the awards. Everyone here is in the boxing community. And so it's very important to us. And since 𝗧𝗧𝗡 has such a crazy schedule where she's working 13, 14 hours a day, I think we're going to start with 𝗧𝗧𝗡. So my question is, Lou, what makes 𝗧𝗧𝗡 so special to you that you would sit down and write this letter to nominate her?
One quick thing before I get to that, answering that question, but I do want to thank the WBC. You know, look, you know me, Mauricio, your dad knows me forever, and I'm a guy that's always critical of everything, including ratings organizations, but the WBC has always been different, and WBC Cares, there is nothing like it in any place else in boxing. And this is why the WBC means so much to me, because when it comes down to decency and humanity and caring about the world around us, there has not been another organization in boxing that has evidenced that more than WBC. So I thank the WBC, and I'm proud to be part of the WBC family. I'm also proud to promote 𝗧𝗧𝗡 Brown. Honestly, I promoted Hall of Famers and some of the greatest fighters in the history of boxing, but I think 𝗧𝗧𝗡 knows this. I don't have a fighter I've ever promoted that I'm prouder of 𝗧𝗧𝗡 Brown. And because of the kind of person she is and what she gives back to her world. There was just a documentary that BET ran about 𝗧𝗧𝗡. And, you know, 𝗧𝗧𝗡 lost her brother to violence in the streets. It led her to pursue a career in law enforcement. It's hard to be a female officer, forget about being a Black female officer. And then in these times right now that we're in, being a police person in general, these are incredibly difficult times, but it's the times like this that most need a 𝗧𝗧𝗡 Brown. 𝗧𝗧𝗡 in her community is known as officer friendly. And she's a community relations sort of officer that reaches out to the people around her. you know, she's a unifying force. And right now, in a world that's so broken in America, particularly right now, with everything that's been going on between the pandemic and the fight for racial justice, I'm proud to promote her. She's a great fighter. Honestly, she's a great athlete. And it's, you know, I when we get out from under this, I expect her to be a world champion, and I want her to be a WBC champion. That would be my greatest hope. But it was nothing for me to take a minute or two to nominate this woman, because she is a real life superhero. Like, I really admire you, Tiara.
Thank you, though.
And who is it that said, I know you, but I'd give my life for you? Who said that?
I did. I said that.
Well, that statement just puts chills up and down my body. Did you say it?
I did, yes, ma'am. And I meant it.
I know you, but I'd give my life for you. I think that says it all. Wow. So what's more dangerous, being out on the street or being in the ring, Tiara? Got an unblemished record right now.
I would have to say being out on the streets is more dangerous. But every day I go to work, I just get up, I pray to God, I thank him for waking me up, and I place him first in my life. And I know that when I go to work, no harm will be brought toward me because I treat people right.
Well, Lou told us why you got into it, but given everything that's going on now, why do you continue to do it? I know there's a lot of controversy and a lot of problems. So why do you continue to do what you do?
So, yeah, we've been working 12-hour shifts, 14, 15, 20-hour shifts with no days off. I worked 14 days, 13-hour shifts with no days off. We've been having to go downtown with people protesting. Most of the protests have been peaceful, but many of them have also been violent. We've had many officers hurt. We had a sergeant 2 days ago. He was slapped in his face with a skateboard, and they broke his nose and they tore his eye socket, you know, and it's very difficult times we're living in right now. We're getting just disrespected, but at the same time, I understand why people are angry, because for decades there has been a unjust in the criminal justice system towards people of minority. But at the same time, I'm a very peaceful person. So I believe that you can't beat hate with hate, nor can you fight violence with violence. So during this time, I just continue to praise God and try at all times to be a light in a dark area towards people, towards civilians, to let them know that even though you may hate us right now, we are still here for you. And it is my job to serve and protect everyone. Even when they love us, I have to serve them. Even when they hate us, I can understand why they hate law enforcement right now, but it is still my job, my duty, my honor, and my pleasure to serve and protect the community.
You're quite a unique individual, let me tell you. Really, we are so proud to have you in the boxing community. It's unbelievable. You really walk that line with such class and dignity.
And I cannot wait to put the green and gold belt in you one of these days, in the very near future, Tiara. You're a pride to the WBC and to everyone. So keep doing what you're doing, because you are the best at it.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Where's your medal, Tiara, that I sent you?
I knew it. I was moving so fast. I was like, oh, I forgot my medal.
Well, I hope you're going to have it here. So thank you. I know you have to leave soon, so we'll move on. But please feel free, all of you, to ask any questions you'd like to ask of each other. We're open to it. I mean, if anyone has any questions for Lou or for Tiara, please kindly feel comfortable to ask. We're all on the same team here.
Oh, by the way, Lou, you promoted, I found one of your promoted cards in the Paul Williams Kermit Cintron. That's the only time I ever fought on one of your cards. But thank you. It's been an honor to fight on those cards.
Thank you very much. It was an honor to have you fight on one of the cards I worked on. Thank you.
Hey, is Tiara still there?
I'm here.
Hey, Tiara, listen up. Jaime can too. I served 23 years in the military. I know what selfless service is. I just want to tell you that I truly appreciate you, and I give thanks every night for our law enforcement for being there for us. God bless you and keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you.
It seems natural that we would move from Tierra to Alberto and Walter. Walter, I could not keep up with your schedule. They're moving you to one worse place to the next worst place. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, you're like on the road, and it's even this poor guy celebrated his birthday in a COVID ward. They actually sent him a cake. And I mean, they're all there in their outfits doing their thing, but you're really in the worst places, El Centro and
Yes,
the border there, and trying to do your best.
I'm doing my best right now. Right now, I'm right here by the Mexicali border, and the cases have surged over here. So we're mutual aid with the Mexicali, with all the Mexican residents in Mexicali. I'm here by Calexico, and we're working at the hospital. And pretty much, I haven't had a day off since May. I haven't had a day off. I've been working 14, 15-hour days, and it's been pretty crazy. You know, I'm a paramedic on the field in the hospital because there's such a shortage in the hospitals. There's no staff anymore because the staff has tested positive for COVID. So my goal, well, my assignment is that I fill in for the hospital staff. So I play the role of a nurse, CNA, LVN, paramedic. I do everything for the patients. I'm literally with COVID patients. They're coughing in my face, but I'm thankfully 3M N95s are the best masks to have. So if you get a hold of those, I can, you know, do the best you can to get those masks, because those really protect you, because I've tested 5 times and I've come out negative 5 times so far. So I'm going to continue to get tested. I hope you all stay safe. But there's 2 different strains of the virus now, from my understanding, and you can get sick twice, because my chief has had the coronavirus twice, and he got really sick, but he got over it. So from my understanding, be safe. You know, if you can wear protective masks, you can. Even N95, those are the best masks to have, the best ones, because COVID patients are coughing in my face every day, and I'm like scared when they're coughing in my face. But you know, so far so good. I'm testing negative.
Good. Alberto, what would you like to add to Walter's story, please? Thank you for volunteering to talk about this young man.
Thank you, Jill. It is my great honor and pleasure to say a few words about champion Walter Schoolboy 𝗧𝗟𝗡. No question about it, champion 𝗧𝗟𝗡 is a warrior, both in the ring and outside the ring. His actions, as Jill and he have described them briefly, represent the epitome of heroism. Champion 𝗧𝗟𝗡 is making the ultimate sacrifice to risk his own health, to risk his own well-being every day, to care for others with health needs, specifically COVID-19 caused needs. He's putting the needs of others, of all his patients, above his own. That is the highest definition of heroism. As far as his boxing career, he's had a very distinguished boxing career. He's a current WBC United States national champion in the super featherweight division, which title he won in October of 2019. He's also a former WBC Latino featherweight champion. But everything is being put on hold. He's a paramedic by profession, and since the beginning of the COVID-19 crisis, champion 𝗧𝗟𝗡 has been working directly, as he said it, with COVID-19 patients through the State of California Medical Assistant Team Program. And that is part of the State of California preparedness and response effort to the COVID-19 crisis. He brings humanity and comfort to people in the worst moment of those people's lives, and they are lucky to have him. The California Emergency Medical Services Authority has issued letters to champion 𝗧𝗟𝗡's employer, publicly recognizing his work in the front lines of the COVID-19 crisis and his efforts to assist the state in its response efforts to the COVID-19 pandemic. He's currently his 3rd deployment working at medical facilities to California, using his medical response skills to help patients in need of emergency medical attention. And we take our hat off and are so grateful that we have him here. And please, champ, keep taking good care of yourself. Put 2 or 3 masks on. We don't want nothing to happen to you. We love you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Alberto. Beautiful. You know,
Can I say one quick thing?
of course.
I'm sorry, Bill. Walter, we use terms like hero and role model or whatever so often for athletes that are succeeding in whatever they're doing. We use those words about our champions, and what you're doing means more than any belt, even the great green one. And you are a role model and you are a hero, and I appreciate you.
So much to do. It's an honor. Hope I can find your cars again.
We all do. We all do. Thank you for those words. Tiara, what time do you have to leave? Because I want Mauricio to say something before you leave.
I have until about 12:45.
Just 12:45. Okay. Well, why don't we move along? I mean, Blue, what were you going to say? You had your hand raised.
No. I was. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Tiara, you have to run now?
Yeah, no, about 12:45.
Okay.
Berto has his hand raised.
Yeah, I just wanted to say two things. Number one, when Christian came on the screen, obviously I recognized her, but I wonder who was the guy next to her, and then I figured it was Mauricio. And second, Lou, I'm trying to look like you, man, with a little white beard,
Yeah,
well, but before I trimmed it, it was like this, and I looked like Santa Claus, a bald Santa Claus. So I went to a goatee. Thank you. I'm trying to be like you, Alberto.
Oh, Lou, we all know that with your generosity and everything that you do for fighters, for boxing, and for the WBC, you are Santa Claus.
Thank you. Thank you.
So why don't we move along to Lil Oscar? Now, I know, Lil Oscar, that, for instance, and Christian and Mauricio have a lot in common, that a lot of things that you do are faith-based. You have a very strong connection to your faith, and that has kept you going through your fights and through your life, and that you work very, very closely with the children in your gym. But I want to ask your father, first of all, what is it like to have a son like Oscar, and why did you nominate him?
Well, that's a tremendous question to answer, to say what it's like to have a son like Oscar. Truly, we are blessed to be his parents, my wife and I. This young man has followed our lead and what we've asked of him, but more than that, he's taken on the church and his faith. And I'll tell you a quick story about Oscar. As he was developing in the boxing world, he was getting popular as an amateur, getting close to the Olympic trials. And I said, son, the pressure's coming. I said, the outside influence is going to start impacting you a little more than before. I said, you promised me that, you're going to stay a straight path. I said, and you're going to act like a champion all the way through this. I said, you're going to act right. And he said, you know what, Dad, I did promise you, but I also promised God, and he's above you. He goes, so don't worry, Dad, we're going to be okay. Amen. So that's the kind of son I have. As for, his efforts during the COVID surprised the world. And the gym, at least our gym, is used primarily. Oscar is just a blessing in the gym to reach the levels he had. The trainers are there for that, but this is a small town, and mainly our gym is it's a major community center. We do so much more than boxing, but boxing is the magnet that brings them in. But when the gym had to close down, one of the things that we do in our gym is we have spiritual training every 2 weeks. It's mandatory for amateur boxers to get in some of that spiritual strength they may need when they need to dig deep for those championship rounds and things like that. So Oscar immediately approached me. He says, Dad, what are we going to do about our spiritual training? I said, well, son, the gym's closed. I said, I'm not sure what you want to do. He says, well, you know what? Again, him being a little more technically savvy than me, he says, I'm going to go online, and I'm going to do it online, and we're going to all log in, and we're going to continue training. And, that had a tremendous impact, because not only did we have our usual audience of our boxing club members, but we had people from outside the community come in and make comments and, supported the cause. So that was amazing to have that impact on our club. In addition, Oscar has a son who had, when he was born early, premature, had some special needs. So they stayed at the Ronald McDonald House for a few days, during that process. Well, immediately, he tells me, hey, Dad, the the people staying at the Ronald McDonald House now with their children, they're not able to leave because of the virus. He says, you know, my wife and I, we're going to go out there and we're going to sponsor a meal for everybody. And, you know, and Oscar lives very limited financially. I said, okay, son, if you believe you can do this, let's do this. I'll support you. So, you know, he did that. I work directly with veterans, being that I'm retired military. I work with veterans and assist them with their needs and things like that. So in this town, everybody knows Oscar is my son. So occasionally a veteran will go to him and say, hey, can you tell your dad I need him to contact me, or I'm in need of this? And Oscar initially, on his own again, started buying groceries for some of the veterans in needs, taking care of household needs for some of the senior citizens in town. So ultimately, Oscar has done what I believe is above and beyond. He's got champion character, and I told him, you need to learn to be a champion before you're actually crowned one. And so when he was crowned champion by the WBC, it was one of the greatest days in our lives. He already knew how to act. So yes, proudly present Oscar 𝗧𝗏𝗡𝗗.
Add like that,
Jill, may I say something?
please.
First, Walter, very happy to see you again. I have been with you many times.
Yes.
And you have always been a great representative of boxing. And as Lou said, you're a hero of the world. And I'm very proud to know you and have you as a friend.
Thank you, Dr. Leone.
The 𝗏𝗏 family is out of this world. I have had the honor of being with them, around them in the NABF convention, and the way they love each other, I feel like I'm seeing my own family. I deeply care for the 𝗏𝗏 family and all they represent. He's a warrior. He's a tremendous fighter, and he's got the heart of a lion and the voice of a preacher and the mind and heart of a preacher. So Oscar 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗏 is a true ambassador for anything you want to tag. Boxing, WBC, family values, religion, faith, society, anything that you want to tag on, Oscar 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗏 is a representative. And I just cannot be more proud to see that red, green ribbon around your neck.
Show us.
Yes,
And
yes, thank you, Mauricio.
Everyone,
congratulations, Oscar.
great. Larry has his too. Great, so proud. So that's wonderful. Oscar, so tell me what has it been like for you?
You know, this whole COVID-19 was a tough blow, but once I step out of my house, I see the need, and you could pray about it, God, pray for those people, but you know what? I have two hands, I have 2 feet, I have the mindset to go out there and do things for people, and so I saw the need. I see how people are losing hope, and especially being in a confined place for so long, not be able to go outside and see the sun. Once people lose hope, that's when it gets kind of crazy. But it's bad things happen. So I told my dad, hey Chief, we got to do this spiritual training. It's not just for our boxers. It's gonna be for everyone in this world who really needs some hope, who really needs some love, who really needs to know that God is there through this turmoil. So we did this spiritual training, which what we call every Tuesday during this quarantine time. And then I also saw another need of kids being at home, and what are kids gonna do when they're at home doing nothing? They're gonna snack, they're gonna eat. So there goes refrigerators being empty, and so my wife and I tag team with another organization to provide meals for kids who could come by, pick it up, and we hand them a box for a whole week of breakfast, lunch, and dinner of non-perishable goods. So you don't have to put them in the fridge. You don't have to worry about heating them up. They're gonna last for a long time. So we did that, and then I see the kids needing a place to go, need a safe place to go. So I worked on a youth room in a church that I work at. Worked on a nice youth room where they could come in and just let the pressures of this world get away from them. And inside the walls of that church, they could just let go and feel free to, come talk to me, or just let go and just play some ping pong, play some pool, and just get some spiritual guidance, and just to know that I'm humble that God would just put this big plate in front of me, because He will not give me more than I can handle. But it's a big plate, and I'm happy about it. And I'm happy that the WBC has started this. WBC cares in the Heroes for Humanity, because boxers aren't just boxers in a squared ring. Boxers are people who get up every day and fight for the right things in this world, and fight for those whose voices can't be heard. And I'm thankful for that. So thank you, Mauricio. Thank you, Joe Diamond, and thank you, WBC, for just allowing me to humbly wear this medal. And my job is not done. I'm going to continue to be in the champion y'all want me to be, and the champion God wants me to be. Thank you.
Amen.
Let me see.
And I just want to say one thing. Oscar Jr., I admire you tremendously. I wish you all the best. You have a big fan here in New York. Oscar Sr., you and your wife should be tremendously proud, and thank you, because you did a tremendous job raising such a fine man.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Lou. Thank you very much, Lou. It means a lot. Thank you, sir.
What I was going to say is that the WBC has started a program to help people who need food during COVID. And if you are giving out food to people like that, please get in touch with us after this program. You may qualify for the COVID fund to get food for the community of boxers. Chris, please.
I was thinking, Jill, after what you have said, and after what Oscar said, we should start thinking, because kids, they touch my heart, and they can't be at home for so long. They have to go back to school. And maybe we should start an initiative about people sending ideas to find a way for them to go back to school. Maybe we should do from A to letter M, they go one day, and then from N to letter Z, go another day. I mean, we should send that. Maybe somebody has good ideas to give to the schools, and so they can bring kids back there, because they can't be kept at home, as Oscar says, eating all the time and doing nothing, and staying home and just wandering around what is going wrong.
No, they need to interact with you.
I believe we are facing. You were saying?
They need to interact with each other.
They need to, and I believe this is only the beginning from the pandemic. I believe this is gonna last for another year maybe, and we are going to get used to living with that and living with the mask, but we cannot stay home. We have to interact, and we have to keep the economy going, and the social problem is going every time it's getting bigger. So we have to do something, Jill. We should start another initiative maybe.
We will start another initiative right after this program. But Tierra has to leave now. So Mauricio, could you show them the surprise that's being mailed to all of them and being personalized that's coming?
We have a great ally in the WBC Cares program, a unbelievable woman who the WBC partnered with, starting with the mental health campaign in the Congress. So the WBC, and of course through Jill Diamond, contacted Congresswoman Grace Napolitano, and when they understood what the Heroes for Humanity means and what they are, we have reached a unbelievable, gratifying document, which we're going to show on the screen. ¿Pueden poner el certificado, por favor?
I love when you talk like that.
Okay. Every single Hero for Humanity is going to receive a certificate of congressional recognition. It's going to be, ¿cómo se dice? Personified to each individual, and it's personalized, and it says, in honor of the distinguished World Boxing Council honorees from the members of Congress of the United States of America, June 2020. So I believe you all should feel very proud of yourselves. You're going to get the recognition from Congress.
Wow.
You can go now, Tiara, if you need to, but you couldn't go without dessert.
Well, before I leave, I want to thank you, Mauricio, Jill, of course, Lou, for just having me here, for believing in me, and just you guys don't really realize you inspire me just as much as I inspire you guys. And just continue to pray for me and pray for the police department, pray for the criminal justice system, because it really needs change, and pray for all those that are still home, that are suffering from depression and anxiety because of the COVID-19. You know, we've had the suicide rate has skyrocketed. I hate to say that, but the suicide rate has skyrocketed, and it is so sad that people have given up hope. And I just pray that we all together can be a light amongst the world, not just our country, but amongst the world. And that's, I'll leave by saying that.
We so agree with you, Tiara, which is one of the reasons Mauricio has done these talks, so that we remember who our community is, can reach out to people, that we can hear that we are not alone in a vacuum. So we agree with you 100%, and thank you for saying that. Thank you so much. Stay safe out there.
Thank you.
Tiara, you out there on the blue lives.
I know that's right. See y'all later. God bless you all.
God bless.
Tierra, Larry the Legend wants to say something to you.
I'd like to say something to you. Your
Please.
job is tough. You know, you're doing a beautiful job, and I want you to continue to do a beautiful job. We need more people like you out here.
I agree. One step at a time. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. Change comes in the morning. We can never give up hope. We can never give up hope, because we serve an awesome God. And when God says move, we can do nothing but move. When he tells us to speak, we can do nothing but speak. We don't do things in our time. We do things in God's time.
Amen.
Yeah. So here we
Amen.
have, amen. Carl Lewis, the fastest lawyer on earth, joke between us, distinguished and revered attorney in Ohio, who nominated Larry the Legend Donald. And would you tell us why?
Most definitely. First of all, good morning to some, afternoon to others. I'm trying to be protective and wear this mask. First, I want to say, Mauricio, thank you so much. Alberto, even though we fight all the time when we're doing these agreements and litigation, thank you for coming through for me, my man. Lou, it's been a long time, my buddies, to see you. We go way back to your HBO days with this man.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, so it's really good to see you, my friend. And to everyone.
Thank you. Larry, my man.
God bless you. It is such an honor for me to nominate Larry the Legend Donald. As you well know, I would not be in the boxing business but for Larry Donald. Lou DiBella remembers way back 1992, before, when Larry got started. Larry Donald, Timmy Austin, and Oscar De La Hoya were the shining 92 Olympians for the United States of America. There were some other great fighters, but those three names were the great fighters coming out of the 92 Olympics. And what I say most about what I've learned in this business, Mauricio, Alberto, Lou, when we're behind the scenes putting things together, Larry is the kindest, most compassionate man I've ever met in this business. And Lou can tell you, Mauricio can tell you, I truly believe that because of Larry's heart, he didn't do what I could have believed to be the world champion. This is an example of Larry the Legend Donald, and I'll turn it over to Larry. He's working at the University of Cincinnati Hospital as a patient transporter, dealing with the people on the front lines. Boxing fans can't believe it's Larry Donald. When they walk into that hospital, the emergency room, they're just overjoyed. The hospital's overjoyed. But you remember when Larry Donald fought Evander Holyfield, and we were like, Larry, you need to knock him out, knock Evander out. Larry said, that's Evander Holyfield. I can't knock him out. He's the legend. So that's Larry Donald's heart. And I just want to turn it over to the champ. We thank the WBC. We thank you guys so much. He loves everybody. He has a heart for people. And Larry, it's my honor to introduce Larry the Legend Donald, who's working here in Cincinnati for the world. Go ahead, champ.
How you doing? I just like to say it's an honor just to be on here with everyone on the panel. WBC, Suleiman. You know, what I do is, you know, I transport the patients at the hospital. You know, I have to deal with, you know, we got this COVID, you know, 19 going on, and, you know, everybody's in an uproar. But at the same time, you know, you got to be calm and relax and, you know, be professional about everything that you do. And me dealing with isolated patients, you know, contact patients, droplets, you know, this COVID is very contagious. And, you know, it's very important that you know, wash in and wash out every time you're dealing with a patient. You know, you got to wipe everything down. I'm just honored to do my job, do the part that a lot of people probably wouldn't want to do. Because, you know, there's a lot of people out here that's scared of, you know, this coronavirus that's going on out here. But, you know, at the same time, you know, somebody have to do it. And, you know, I think I'm just that person to, you know, put myself on the line to, you know, comfort people when, you know, when they're not feeling good, or, I mean, it's just so much.
Larry, what do you think they need the most from you as another human being while they're in that vulnerable place? What is it that you give them?
Well, I give them a lot of compassion. You know, when they feel that there's no hope, you know what I mean? It gives me the opportunity to talk to them, and, you know, hopefully I can give them some type of hope.
And when you go home at the end of the day, can you just let it go and take your night or morning, whatever your shift is, and relax and let it go? Or is it still going in your head?
Well, basically, I just let it go. You know what I mean? I relax and just let it go, and, you know, come back the next day and, you know, put my time in.
Right. Well, you're like an ambassador for boxing. You have fought some of the best people in boxing. You have an unbelievable record, and you're using all that passion and energy to help people now during this crisis. No one better to do it. And we're so appreciative.
Thank you.
Mauricio and Jill, thank you so much. I like that. The picture you had doesn't look as good as I do, but we'll take it. It was Carl Lewis though.
I know. I didn't do the picture, but it looks good.
Just joking. I'm sorry, Mauricio.
Yeah, what I like to say is these fighters who have fought with their hearts in the ring are now facing a coward opponent. COVID-19 is coward. He attacks the elderly, and he attacks, he's invisible, so he's a coward, and he's attacking those who are in a physical condition weak. So for you guys to be fighting COVID-19, it simply says it all. And we're just very proud of you, and whoever has been in a fragile situation when you find yourself with so much uncertainty and questions, and there's someone, whether it's a nurse, a therapist, anyone who is there that can give a word or even a sight, a kind look at you, that gives you inspiration, and then you know you're gonna make it. So the things that you do in the front line changes and saves so many lives that it's just something that we cannot appreciate enough to all of you.
I mean, this camp, the reason we showed all these little kids that we're showing too is part of our Unity for Peace. Because basically, when you look at an illness like COVID, it doesn't discriminate. It's everybody. It comes after everyone. We're all one and we all have to fight it together. There's nothing more leveling or humbling than facing a world the way it is today. Lou, please. You were talking, Lou?
Yeah, I had the pleasure I had the pleasure to work with Larry a number of times. I booked him into a number of fights on HBO over the years because he always had such a big heart and was such a warrior and always one of the good guys and always gave 110% of himself. And all those things he carried into his life. You know, it's the truth, man. And all those things you have carried into your life after boxing, into your next career, and showing true championship character right now in the midst of this. So I'm proud of you, brother. I'm glad I know you, and it's been a pleasure to know you all these years, even though we haven't seen each other in a long time.
Thank you. I just think that we all must come together as one.
Yes, yes. We have the same goal, a healthy, peaceful world. That is,
right.
We share it, and the rest we can work out. Absolutely. I don't know, Mauricio, would it be wrong, since you have 3 great boxers here, to do the way you usually do when you have boxers and do that little survey?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We should end it in a big upbeat like that. And I wonder who Lou DiBella would put in there too.
Before we go into that, we're going to show two little videos from the kids of the world. And this is our campaign showing the children giving us the way of life. So, ¿pueden poner los videos, por favor?
And they were not prompted to do this.
My name is Anaya from California, and I hope that the whole world can love each other.
Beautiful.
We can fix the world by not doing acts of violence. We're all one big family in the world. So when you hurt or kill someone in the world, it's like killing and hurting a brother and sister. My name is Gabriel, and I'm 10 years old, and we're all one big family.
Beautiful.
Okay, so we're gonna create the greatest boxer in history. I'm gonna say one category, and then you each is going to say which fighter you identify with that category, and then we create the greatest of them all. So the first category is punching power.
Greatest punching power.
So we're gonna start with who wants to go first?
I guess I'll go first.
Go ahead.
Oscar.
Go ahead.
Okay, Oscar.
I'll say Tyson. Mike Tyson.
Tyson. Schoolboy.
Power, Edwin Valero.
Valero.
And I just got this in the mail, by the way. My medal, literally just got this in the mail. They just delivered to me from the lobby.
It took more of
I just got this. Thank you so much.
This is destiny, you see? How about you, Lou? Who's your pick for punching power?
I'm with Lil Oscar on Tyson.
Okay. How about Larry Donald?
I say Joe Louis.
Which one?
Good choice.
Joe Louis.
Joe Louis. Excellent.
Good choice.
Okay. Next is a chin. Who's got the greatest chin?
Very easy.
You can go, Julu, if you like.
Arturo Gatti.
I was supposed to say Gatti, yeah.
I'm with Arturo Gatti on greatest chin.
Okay. So, Oscar?
Arturo Gatti.
Okay. Schoolboy, the greatest chin.
The worst chin? Oh, this is a good one.
Great.
𝗧𝗔𝗟𝗡𝗗 from Cuba.
Greatest chin?
Oh, the greatest chin, Julio Cesar Chavez.
Chavez.
Cesar Chavez.
Nice.
Who you got?
And Larry Donald.
Muhammad Ali.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Speed, hand speed. Oscar.
I'll say Sugar Ray Leonard.
Okay. Lou?
Oscar and I keep agreeing. I'm with Ray Leonard.
Okay. Larry Donald? Hand speed.
Ray Leonard. Ray Leonard.
Leonard. How about you, schoolboy?
Best.
Hand speed.
Geez, Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard has to be the man.
They all agree.
Unanimous. The greatest jab.
I Cortez.
Oscar?
Are you done?
I say Ricardo del Pinito Lopez.
Ooh,
Okay.
good one.
Schoolboy, who's the greatest jab?
Greatest jab. Larry Holmes. Larry
Oh.
Holmes.
Lou?
Larry Holmes, greatest in heavyweight history.
How about you, Larry?
Larry Holmes.
Okay. Now, the greatest boxing skills, ring generation. Lou Di-Bella.
Pernell Whitaker.
Okay. Schoolboy.
Your mic is muted.
Salvador Sanchez.
Salvador Sanchez. Oscar.
El Pinito Lopez.
Okay. I know who's your hero.
Yes, yes.
Muhammad Ali in his prime.
And we have
Never a bad choice.
two more.
Muhammad Ali is never a bad choice for anything. Yeah.
Next is the body punching. Working the body. Larry?
Chavez.
Okay. Lou Di-Bella.
Because of the liver shot, I'm going to go with Mickey Ward.
Oh, that's a good one.
Schoolboy. Did we lose Schoolboy? Maybe.
Maybe.
May have lost him.
Yeah. Oscar?
Julio Cesar Chavez Sr.
Okay. Are you there, Schoolboy, or no?
Thanks, Debbie.
Okay, last category, the biggest heart inside the ring. So Lou is going to go first.
Well, I think I got to go back to, I'm going to make it a tie between Arturo Gatti and Orlando Salido.
Okay. Oscar?
I would say this is a tough one. I think Arturo Gatti.
Okay.
Larry Donald?
Muhammad Ali.
That's
Okay.
also a good choice.
Of course. I'm sorry we lost the Schoolboy. I'll call him and get the last two categories from him.
He might have been moved, since he is working, he
Yes.
might have been moved out. I mean, he's changed hotels like 4 times in the last week. They keep moving them.
Yes. Well, I would like to thank you all so much for this moment. We truly appreciate your human kindness, your dedication. Lou, you are very, very dear. And I love when you go out and say the things that you say, even if it's not what we would like to hear, but it's good. It makes you be better. Anytime you say something, you get me thinking and make me improve what we do in all senses. So I deeply appreciate, I love you so much, Lou. You are very, very special to us. Alberto, thank you so much for your time. And Jill, thank you for always being there and being such a special woman that drives the WBC Cares and the WBC all around. Thank you so much, Jill.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. It was very
God bless.
nice to meet you all.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a lovely week.
God bless. Thank you. Stay
WBC.
safe.
Viva WBC.
WBC.
Jill, as always.
Always.
WBC.
Positive.
Always.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Take good care of it.
All right, champ.